Hello, everyone. Hi. Happy
Hi,
Monday.
everybody.
Happy 12/12 Portal Day. I'm Wisdom Seeker Joan, and this is my very special guest, SunPsychic Jean.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see you. Thanks for having me, Joan.
You're very welcome. We're sorry that Terri Suzuki can't make it today. She wasn't feeling well, so we wish her the very best and hope she gets back to feeling her best very, very soon. But we're very glad that all of you are here. And if you have any questions, if you'd like a reading, a general reading, or something from one of your departed loved ones or guides, just put it in the chat and we will get around to it.
Caps and emojis are really appreciated.
Yes, yes, especially with my eyes. So I'll be doing a lot of this, looking very closely.
I know. I do. I think I have my my font expanded or something because I need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
The how is the weather where you are? Is it snowing? Do you have snow on the ground?
We have snow on the ground from a prior snowfall, but today it's just kind of gray and cold. But I think snow or rain is going to be moving in later today, and then it'll be we'll get our part of the big storm that's moving across the country for the next several days, and then we'll be sending it to you.
I read the weather report today, and it's unusual that they let us know that there is a big storm going to be blanketing the whole northeastern corridor in the next 2 or 3 days. I haven't actually looked to see what the expected day of the arrival is, but when they announce it a couple of days ahead of time, you know it's going to be big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little concerning. Okay. Oh, thank you. There's people here and they're asking questions, and I'm going to star some of them here. Jean, tell us about your most recent visit to a psychic fair. How did that go?
Yes, yes, I was exhibiting at the Pathways Psychic Fair yesterday, all day, and it is called the Natural Living Expo. This is the fall version. I haven't unpacked my suitcase yet to get the other one out, but it was really nice. It was what they usually have a spring, summer, and fall expo 3 times a year, and they decided to do a last minute winter expo because of the availability, and a lot of people were um, looking forward to it and asking for another one at the end of the year. So this is the first time they've done one in December. So I jumped in. So I thought it was a little bit smaller because not all the vendors were available.
Mhm.
So and when I say smaller, it's the venue's big, it's just not as many vendors. So I thought it might be a good time for me to book a room and do, like, it's like a breakout seminar room where you go and
Oh,
you talk
yeah.
about what you do and things. And I thought I would read the room. And Terri Suzuki is one of my inspirations. She's so brave. She's read a room the last one she was at, and then, or sorry, she did it in the fall, and then she did one just a few weeks ago, and she read a room 2 days in a row. They have them Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow. So how did that go? Was it did,
Yeah, it went very, very well. And of course, that you learn from your first experience. And the readings went well. The readings were fabulous. There was probably about 40 people in the room, and they were very well. They participated, raised their hands, and asked the appropriate question. And of course, just like we do here, I said, if you would like a psychic reading, I can, get uh, tune into your energy and do a psychic reading. Or if you would like to uh, have a message from a loved one or a pet, I said you can just tell me the pet's name and a dog or a cat or whatever it is. And if it's a family member, you could say, like, my grandmother and Marie or whatever it is. So I instructed them on what to say. And then I said, is there anyone who would like a reading? And That was my biggest fear, was that nobody would raise their hand. It would be like crickets.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted to watch other people get readings, but they weren't, but they did. A lot of people raised their hand, and I did choose 5 people. And then in between, I did a little bit of training, explaining, teaching, instructing, things like that. So it was a lot of fun.
Nice. That's great. Well, thank you everybody for coming. Here's T-Barb and Junosphere and Miriam and the Crown Zone. Let's see, Sharon Sipe, thank you as always. We're just thrilled to have you here. And we've got a couple of questions. Should we just jump in?
Absolutely. I'm ready when you are.
All right. Oh dear. People, please forgive me. It's been a long time since I've driven, so it might be a little bit of a bumpy ride here, but let's try this. Here's from Jane. Thank you, Terri and Jean, for sharing your gifts. I have a question on wanting to move back to the city to be near grandchildren. Do you see me being able to sell my rural home, my rural house lots in 23? Okay.
Wow. I'm going to go to the pendulum on it. Oh, where's my pendulum? It's still packed.
Oh dear.
I know. Let me see if I have another one. I should have another one.
Jane Lemaire. Okay, I am getting a yes on that, Jane.
Shoot.
And will it be in the first quarter of 2023? It's circling and saying maybe not first quarter. How about second quarter? Third quarter. I'm getting a small guess on second quarter of 23, but the pendulum was swinging very robustly for third quarter. So definitely by third quarter or in third quarter, if not before. And let me see, what's this move going to be like for Jane? Okay, I'm sensing, well, the first thing I got was it will make your heart sing once it sells. And then, okay, what advice do you have for Jane about this transaction? What I'm getting is with these types of things, you have to look at your property, whether you're saying your lots, but whether it's the house or your lot or house lots or whatever, as part of the process, you have to kind of look at things and see, well, what are the objections, the potential objections, if you need to paint the bathroom or something like that. So go through that and maybe have a realtor, if it is the house itself that you need to sell, go through and have them do the analysis of what needs to be done, and then just go with it. And then stop and don't be critical about the process. Don't spend too much time thinking, well, maybe it would sell if I put a different colors paint on the wall, or a different type of decoration on the front step, or don't focus on it's not selling, so what can I do? Just envision it selling and envision how easy it's going to be and how the right people are going to come at the right time, and it's all going to be just as it was meant to be. And that's what you can do, because especially when we don't know the exact timing and the outcome, it's so easy to focus on the negative of what's wrong, and that just impedes the process. What do you have, Jean?
I have yes, yes, and yes, but I'm trying to narrow down the time. So it said no, not by June. So let me see. Will she be able to sell her rural house lots by September of 23, by the end of September 2023? And that's yes. So I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. What about, will she be able to sell her house lots by the end of August 2023? That's a definite yes. Will she be able to sell her house lots by the end of July? Ooh, wait, by the end of July 2023. Yep, that's a no. So it looks like August 2023, but that's when the sale's probably going to go through, is by the end of August. And you'll be, yeah, I definitely saw that you were moving back to the city, that you would be able to sell the house lots. And I was just trying to tighten up the time for you. That is fabulous. Good for you, Jane. And I agree with Joan. It's not the tweaking, it's not the fancying up or doing this or doing that to them. It's just the right person at the right time in the right, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So focus on that and start packing and looking for um, imagining all of the wonderful things you're going to do with your grandchildren. Like focus on the positive. Focus
Yeah,
on what you do want, not what you don't want.
exactly. Oh, and here, there was a question from Starfish who just wanted to hear about exactly what you talked about your day at the psychic fair. So thanks for asking that, Starfish.
Thanks,
And
Starfish.
okay, from Miriam Bratton. Do VJ and Coletta have a message for me? Somehow I think they're together on the other side. Love them both. If you could let us know who VJ and Coletta are these people or are they pets or
I think if
just,
they're your parents
or your, yeah,
or neighbors,
give us, let's see.
I don't see anything yet.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's,
Oh, here she said they're people who were mentors to me. Lovely,
oh,
very nice.
okay. VJ and Coletta. Let's see what we can get. Poor Miriam. I have seen them, I'm not seeing them whole, I'm seeing their hands and kind of keeping in touch, not quite holding hands, but kind of maybe touching fingertips or like just touching the tips of their fingers together. So they're saying they're keeping in touch with each other and they're keeping in touch with you. Um, what's the message for that you have for her? They're showing me a yellow rose with kind of a red tip on it, or a rosy red tip on the edges of the leaf, and it's just kind of in a tight bud, and it was just starting to open. And okay, and they loved being able to help you blossom and to be there um, to kind of see you take off. Not until the full flowering, but they liked being there to kind of help you on your way. Is there anything else you'd like to say? They got a lot of joy out of their interaction with you, and it was part of their growth and part of their plan to be able, and it just made them feel good about what they had done. I don't have any idea about what this is really about, but it was affirming to them that they could pass on their knowledge. They felt respected and honored by their interaction with you. So yeah.
Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Well, Miriam, what I was seeing was a twisted braid, and it looked like a braid, but it was sort of just like twisted. And it almost looked like, you know how they have like, um, they were showing me like copper wire braids, and they were showing me like the DNA. Is it called the helix? I don't know what that's called, like the way
Yeah,
it twists.
the double
And
helix.
so what I was getting was like it looked like a wire twisting or like the helix braided twisting. So I'm not sure. And I got the impression that there was like a balance to them. There was with electricity, you have a positive and negative. You have a grounding wire and the hot wire or whatever. So, and when I saw that the copper wire was twisted, it felt to me like they had a charge, like a positive charge to them. So this was really interesting. And they're telling me that they're sending you this positive charge still, like whatever information or guidance that they gave you in this world, in this realm, in this lifetime, they're still giving it to you. And they're actually charging up on the other side and sending you this positive charge. Yeah. So that's what I got. I can't read my writing, but it says positive energy. So yeah,
Excellent.
it was really cool. I'm like, wow. So they're showing me how together they are and how much better they are together. It was really interesting. Thanks for your question.
What a cool image to get. All right. Next up. Okay, I think we just did Jane on a different question. So I'm going to come back to you after we do some other people. Here is T Barb. Can I have a message from my Aunt Wilma?
Hi, T Barb.
Wonderful.
Wilma.
Okay, T Barb.
I think she had the gift. And she just says, like, don't we all? Like, as women, it's sort of like we have one foot in, we're very intuitive, we're very tuned in, like that sixth sense. She's saying, like, she's saying something about having eyes behind her head. Did she have children, or did she always know what was going on without even mentioning it? Or like she could pinpoint. She was very keen and very had a good attention to detail, and she listened to her guidance and her gut instincts, is what she's showing me. But I'm not really getting. Let me see if I can get her image or personality. Oh, she had an NDE. Wow. She was tuned in. And this is what I was picking up, the
Ah,
1 foot in, that she could see the eyes in the back of her head is what is really very strong. So Joan,
sure. If you want to tune in some more, I'll just give what I got. And it's funny, I got eyes in front of the head right away. My third eye lit up and, opened the eye there. So I did get the idea that she had some psychic ability, and also my crown chakra really opened up. So I think that she's communicating and helping and assisting you, and is just very happy, very pleased at that you're exploring this, that you are making a study of this yourself. She's just like, yeah, she's really, really happy. I'm okay, I'll say it. I'm seeing Fred Flintstone lifting Wilma up with his, so because her name is Wilma, and they're just happy, and he's lifting her up and they're smiling at each other. And I think that is just to suggest that she's up there looking over you and is very, very happy with what's going on, that you're exploring this. And yeah. And so you can connect with her. She's there for you.
wow. She said she always had my back.
Wow.
And T Barb also said she couldn't wear a watch. They wouldn't work on her. That's how tuned up she was. And she says, "Yabba dabba do." Aw, how lovely. Yeah, she's really special.
That's great. Okay. Thank you very much. And here is Juno. My friend Tilly will my friend Tilly be here by New Year's? Okay. Let's see if we can do this. We know that Juno, her best friend, is moving back from the Northeast somewhere, I think, or maybe whatever, and is going to be moving in just across the street or kitty corner from where Juno is in Arizona. Okay, is Tilly going to be in by New Year's Eve? Should be there by the first week in. Okay, I'm getting a small yes for New Year's Eve, but a bigger swing for the first week in January. So what's the deal here, Spirit? They're saying it could be weather dependent. She might have an extra day of travel depending on weather, a day or two. Okay, Spirit, tell us about this move for Tilly and how it's affecting Juno. The hawk that I always see when I read for Juno is just like taking off. Like it's a good time. Things will move forward and move upward. It's a real launching point for both of you.
That's lovely. That's lovely that you took that question and went a step further. So, as far as the timing, I didn't get for New Year's Eve, but I got by like the 4th and 5th of January, like maybe that second or the first weekend in January, whatever that is. Um, so, just, and this way you can prepare yourself and, not have your manage the expectations. And it was sort of like vibrating. It just sits there and vibrates, and then it went like no. So there is a lot of things depending on this. So there's not entirely it's not entirely decided as of right now. Anything can happen, just like Joan said, with the weather or something could make things or change things for her. But how lovely in a new year to come in and start the first weekend together. So like you can look at that and focus on that and look forward to that. If it's not exactly New Year's Eve, then you have the whole rest of the year. You'll be able to start. So, and then Joan went further and said, "How will this affect Juno?" I love that you did that, because I got right away that she's going to anchor you, and she's going to be like your safety, like your brace. She's going to brace you and hold you and anchor you, and you will feel freer to like soar and do what you do, because you have somebody that's got your back, that is watching you while you. I feel as though you're going to be doing some traveling and some exploring in other realms, and I feel as though she is there to anchor you and to ground you. How lovely.
Yeah, the falcon and the falconer. That's great. So maybe just tell Tilly, think about flexibility as far as those travel plans go. And here's Samantha. I'm feeling
And
stuck. Oh, excuse me, Jean.
she
Go right ahead.
Juno says she has to wait for a check to clear, and she's my anchor and my rock, and she gives me wings. How about that? Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's true. It's not just something that you feel or something that you say. It's really, this is who she is to you. This is like a contract that you
Cool.
have. Cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
So on to Samantha. Thanks for your question. I'm feeling stuck. How can I move forward with grace? What a lovely, lovely way of asking that question. Let's see what we can come up with
Hi,
for
Samantha.
Samantha.
I love your new icon with the reindeer with the nose. I don't, is it Rudolph? I don't know, but it's cute. I
Yeah.
like it. They're telling me to stop resisting. So, and the patience, um, if you try and reframe the experience or the sensation of being stuck and feel as though you're on a pause. Perhaps there's a pause because there's a timing. I know that for myself, I have like a time where I have I take a seat in the back seat almost, and then I feel as though there's a momentum coming, and then that's when I get into the front seat so I can drive, and then things move and move and move, and then it's almost like there's no more traction under me, and they ask me just to sit back and to relax and to pause. So it may not necessarily be what you think it would, you think it is. It may just be a timing. A timing. This is why you can't force things to move forward. There's a timing and a momentum, and things ebb and flow. And also, just look at the planetary alignments as well. These things have affect our energies as well. And there's a 1212 portal, so we're going to be asking about the chat about that. But yeah, that's what I feel for you, Samantha. I don't feel a stuckness. I feel a pause.
What I was seeing, I saw you as like a doll or something like that, and it kind of like Pinocchio or something. And he has got those big feet, and he was picking up his feet and seeing it's like there's gum on there, so it's not like you're glued in place, but there's a little bit of something pulling you down. And this figure that I'm seeing was just looking at it, being kind of curious, like, why is this happening? It didn't seem like some huge horrible thing that really has you bound and tied. And when I asked what can she do to get over this, it was the kind of a compliment on the attitude of not being like, I'm not being so firm in the story you're telling about being stuck that you can't get unstuck. It was more of like this curiosity about, okay, what is this and how do I get out of it? And they showed me, if you've got something sticky on your feet, you go walk somewhere where it might be sandy or dirty, and it takes the stickiness away. So it's believing that this is just a phase and taking some action. And it doesn't have to be strenuous action. It's sort of like going outside and just walking around on the dirt or the grass or something to make it less sticky. So I think practically, rather than metaphorically, what that means is take some time, as Jean was saying, and kind of a pause. But in the pause, think about, instead of thinking about you're stuck, think about, okay, well, what can I do? What's like the first easiest thing I can do toward whatever goal that you'd like to get to, and think about doing that, and then take a small action, and then it will build. It will just make things a little less sticky. Like if the big thing is I want to move, maybe just go organize a drawer. Because sometimes if you do want to move, one thing you'll have to do is get rid of the junk, and just a little thing like that, just a little effort toward whatever your goal is will help move that energy forward rather than getting stuck more.
That's brilliant.
I hope that helps.
It does change the energy. Do you ever just clean out one linen closet and feel so much better about the whole house because the linen closet is all organized now?
Yeah.
It
Yes.
does change the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're focusing outside instead of focusing inside. Sometimes it's good to do that instead of, but not all times. But that's interesting, Joan. Very interesting. Very good.
Thank you, Samantha. And let's see what G. Covington has to say. I was told by a couple of readers a new job was coming this year. Starting to lose hope. Is the new job still on the way? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
I'm not getting it for 2022, but we always say it's very difficult to predict that things change and everybody has free will. Situations change, but we tried the best. Let me see. What about by February, G. Covington? I think it was that she had a difficult situation where
Right.
in the job that she's currently in, and she was looking to change.
I'm seeing 2023 and first quarter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right around that Saturn moving into wherever it's moving into. right around, there's like a sweet spot. There's a big astrological change that's happening right around that first quarter, that March, April switchover. And I think that Saturn is moving into a new house or a new whatever it is. And I'm not an astrologer. I don't know. All I know is I keep hearing it over and over and over again, that there is this big release, this big change, this big. So perhaps, yeah, that would be a better time for you to move into it, a better opportunity rather than just a lateral move. Maybe this is something, that is more than you expected, better than you expected. You know how they say, I wish for this or something better. I'd like to manifest this or something better, because sometimes we limit our mind is only, can only think of so much, but the creator can bring in more than we can imagine.
Great idea.
She said, thank you. I'll have to fight the vipers a little longer.
Good luck.
Well, hopefully they take vacation around the holidays. So
Yeah. Wiki would like a message from her friend Daniel. Okay, thank you so much.
hi, Wiki. I love your picture.
Why am I seeing figure skaters? I'm seeing couples figure skaters. And what's the message here, Daniel? That they were kind of in balance, and he's showing me them kind of being figure skaters, doing moves together and then apart, and then together and then apart. So what's the message here for Wiki, Daniel? He seems to be saying that you guys just glided. You had a relationship, a friendship that just, it seemed to just glide, and was very. It just seemed easy to be your friend. And whether maybe there were periods when you were apart and you could still stay in touch somehow. And now he's saying it's like that, that you might not be together. I'm getting the idea he may be in spirit, but it's like the skaters that, you will come back together eventually. Of course, we all will be in spirit. But he's still like your good friend. Like a lot of times figure skaters are friends. They're not romantic partners or whatever, but there's still that ease and that connection, and that, and that you look good together. Yeah. Made it look easy.
Wow. She said, I think that we're doing that now. Yes. Wiki responded, yeah. So Wiki, what I was picking up, and this is the image or the impression that he's giving me. So I can't tell if this is actually what his incarnation was in this earth, or this is what he's presenting to me as. I got a very old soul to begin with, a very old soul. And he came through almost in a Native American, but a little bit Americanized, and Americanized Native American, not necessarily like with all the traditional uh, uh, clothing, a little bit more Americanized, but like an old soul, kind of weathered looking. And like, this is kind of what made me think that he was a little bit a Native American. Maybe he had a lot of a sun exposure in his life, but he just had a little bit of a weathered looking and a very old soul, very calm, uh, very wise old soul. And he showed me that he was smoking a peace pipe. So, I mean, you don't have to tell us everything, but I don't know what he was smoking in the peace pipe, but and he was saying that he was a peaceful man, and that peace is what he wanted. He had like a very calming soul, like a very old soul, very wise soul. And he just really was calm. His energy seemed very calm and wise. I don't know how else to describe it. I also said that you both had similar views. You saw eye to eye, like you would say, you know, those little red cars are my favorite cars. And he would say, they're my favorite cars. Like there was things that I mean, and big things too, but I'm just saying, like, what you had similar views, similar likes, you saw eye to eye on many things. And you felt a connection with him, and he did confirm that you're soul family. But he had such a beautiful serenity and wise, and it almost, this is probably why I get like a Native American kind of a calmness, like still waters that are just very calm underneath. He's very interesting. I hope that makes sense, Wiki. He was French Canadian, so maybe not this incarnation. I'm not sure if he was weathered and had like he just came to me as an old soul
Cool.
with yeah,
That sounds
very
beautiful.
nice. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. That was fun to go skating with you guys.
Oh, she said his death was really hard for her. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
he's your soul family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Losing someone close, it's like losing a limb. Sharon, let's see what we have for Sharon Galnick. I'm wondering if I'll ever be able to open up enough to utilize my abilities to help others with healing. Oh, what a beautiful intention. Okay, let's see. I'm getting you need to forget about the outcome. You need to forget about, oh God, I feel like I'm sorry, I feel like I'm speaking to myself. You need to let go of, I can't read the way Jean can, or the way Terri can, or the way other people I'd like to can, and embrace what you can do right now. And because all of us feel that way. Well, some of us. I'm assuming many of us do. I know I do, and it doesn't help. It just does the opposite. So whatever you can do right now, um, be grateful for it, give thanks for it, be patient for it with yourself. And I heard all of those words, and then I heard rigorous, and so they're saying practice, 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 and they're telling me to give the example that I use for myself, and that is, I don't watch everybody all the time, but over the past year or so, two of the people that I think have progressed amazingly, well, three, um, Allie, who used to, Allie Martin is an amazing, amazing gifted reader now. Ron, Unconditional Love, has just grown by leaps and bounds. And Kelly, Dozen Cats for Me. All of a sudden, and you know why? All of them are out there doing it all the time, not making any grand plan or any big deal about themselves. They are just showing up and doing the work. So when I start, I have this conversation with myself a lot, and I need to pull myself down and say, well, if you want to get better, you better just let go of the negative and just do the work. And they were telling the same thing to you that they talk to me about. So I hope that is of some help. Jean, what did you get?
Something very similar. I see that her words are, will I ever be able to open up enough? You're open up enough right now. Your abilities are there now. We all have the healing ability as humans, as spirited, sentient beings. We have healing abilities. What is required is your confidence, your belief, your disregard for any negativity or any doubt or any self-talk, things like this. And your actual belief is so very important. And the imagination gateway is beautiful. And if I could just tell you one little small thing really quick. I had a friend of mine do a healing on me, and what she said is, I had, my hip was out, and my hip was so sore, and it was very, very stiff, and I couldn't walk, and I was limping and stuff. And she said, go to the spot And she said, "What is it? What does the pain feel like?" And I said, "It feels like it's rusty, like very stiff in there." And she said, "Okay, tell me what the color is." I said, "It's like rust color." I'm like, it's an obvious question. So she said, "Okay." She said, "We're going to remove that rust. How do you want to remove it?" And I said, "With a bucket." She said, "Okay, we'll put a tap onto your hip, open up the tap, and the tap will drip into the bucket rust. This rust will drip out of your hip." And then she said, "Okay." She said, "I want you to go outside and release this bucket of rust to Mother Gaia so that she could transmute it into something positive." So she said, "Go ahead." And I was like so much in pain, and I just wanted the healing, and I was just thinking, "Okay, I've got to take this bucket. I'm going to walk outside." And all of a sudden, all of these monarch butterflies started flying out of the bucket, and they're rust color, and they're just beautiful, and they took flight, and I was so amazed. So it has a lot to do with belief, imagination, and just sensing the energies. And we all have this ability. It's just about learning about it and practicing what we learn. So I definitely think that if you have the desire, that means you're meant to do it. That means you're listening to your calling. So yes, will I ever be able to open up enough? Absolutely, absolutely. And it just comes with practice. And yeah, if you want to practice, let us know.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Sharon. But I'm right there with you. Next up is Dana. And I'm sorry, I've been starring these in not exactly the order they come in. Can you please read on my son, Bar, finding a new job?
All right.
I am seeing him on the prow of a ship, like a sailing ship, with a periscope, and he's looking out into the distance and going back and back and forth with his periscope. Um, so, Spirit, what does this mean for Bar in him getting a new job? He hasn't quite decided where he wants to land. He's looking at different options. He's far enough. So I guess this metaphorically is meaning he's far enough out from the actually signing on the dotted line that he's still looking at various options. And they're saying that's okay, because when you come into port, you want to be in the right place. All right. And okay, Spirit, tell me again. It's about him being out there. I think that he's going to have offers, at least 3 offers coming in, and then it will be him deciding which way he wants to go. Or if not offers, at least 3 prospects that seem attractive to him. And then it's about him, which way he'll go. I'm going to ask the pendulum. Yeah, he's going to get it. Let's see, what's the timing? I'm hearing not till the new year. And I'm hearing he might need to take, depending on his financial situation, he might need to take something as kind of a gap thing. I don't know if that's driving Lyft or doing DoorDash or whatever, until the right job comes along, or some other job that's like, this is one I want to do for the rest of my life. But I get the strong feeling that there's a job that he will like in the offing, probably by March. It might take a while. Jean, what do you get?
Yes, and I agree with everything that Joan said. This is just ringing bells and whistles with me on this side. And what I was feeling when she was looking through the telescope or the whatever kind of scope it was, she what I felt was that he was looking for the perfect fit. And what I was feeling is, don't analyze it to the nth degree. It's very important, and you want to make sure that it's the right fit, but it's not, doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't. This is not the at the last choice he'll ever have. He's going to have more choices, and it may just be a stepping stone for him. But if he can feel and sense it, the camaraderie, the friendliness, the energy in the building, and the energy of the person that's interviewing him, and kind of feel, is this something I may be able to really enjoy? Are there other people my age that are going to be fun? And is it something that I can really, you don't want to be a slave and a taskmaster there. Just, you don't want to have to be perfect, and you don't want to have to get the highest paying job, because that's not always the best option. But if he listens to his heart and tries to think about social and career path, both, open it up so that he's happy, he'll follow his bliss. And yeah, so I definitely see him looking for the perfect one, and having like this burden of trying to find something perfect that he'll, once he makes this decision, he's stuck in it. And he's not stuck in it. Even if he makes the wrong decision, 2 weeks later, that other job that he really loved could call him back and say, we want you to come in. We decided, or maybe he already accepted. So what? Just tell him, look, that other person just called me back and I have to leave. So go ahead and make a decision, and try not to make it so final or so perfect. I see him like having such a burden that this is a final decision, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that ship can leave that port and go to another one. Thank you very much, Dina. I hope that helped. Let's see here. How about Herbert family? Will my sister have her new knee surgery soon? Okay. Right away, I heard after the holidays. I'm thinking January or February, but what I'm seeing is like a big disc. It's like it looks like a cloud, and it's just kind of circling. So what does this mean, Spirit? I guess the date hasn't really been settled on. Is this because of her sister's condition? No, it's because of the doctors and their schedules and something like that. So, but I'm getting the feeling it will be after the holidays, maybe late January, early February. What do you think?
I felt the same thing, but I did also feel it had a little bit to do with your sister's condition, whether or not she's well, whether or not, if she needs to do some physical therapy before she goes into surgery, or but um, but I do also feel that it is more likely towards the end of January, early February. For some reason, these holidays, this new year, this turnover, it's not the and it has a lot to do with that doctor's schedule too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different moving parts here, I think, and be patient and tell her to hang in there. And while she's waiting for this surgery, she can also strengthen the muscles around it and do, I don't know if they're called isometric exercises, but just to strengthen the muscles around it.
Man, I believe in PT. Physical therapy. I had an injury from 20 years ago from running, and I had gone to a bunch of different people for it. And I finally went to a new physical therapist was recommended to me, and that pain was gone. Something that had been there For 20 years, it was gone because I got the right exercises to do. So I hope that your sister can find the right people to help her and has good luck with that. Okay, here's Karen Robinson.
Hi,
Would you have time
Karen.
to read on my brother Robbie? He's very sick with kidney
Oh,
failure.
no.
13% function. What's he supposed to learn from this? Oh, that's a rough one. Okay, what is Robbie supposed to learn from this? They're saying compassion, but not so much compassion for other people as compassion for himself. What do you mean by this, Spirit? Why is Robbie having this experience? It's a way to kind of force him to slow down or to look at life differently, consider from a new perspective. I don't know if he's somebody who's been generally healthy otherwise, but all of a sudden being put in a position where you're not 100% healthy, um, is giving him a very different perspective. And while that's uh, really difficult from a human level, from a soul level, it's a growth experience. And they're reminding us that we all signed up for these things, even the challenges that we go through. So I wish him the very best. And I'll give you my very favorite affirmation about things like that. I learn my lessons with ease and comfort.
That's beautiful, Joan.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I too saw that Robbie was is a very strong, dependable type of individual, and he's used to doing things on his own, and he will now need assistance and rely on others to help him. And this is a humbling and a an adjustment, and and he will need to give himself the compassion, like Joan said, in order to be in this position. Um, he will value the those heart virtues, those very important things in life, and he'll be able to see others who are caring for him, the love, the compassion, the patience, and the expertise that they have, and just be in awe and be able to see other people's soul and other people's spirit, and feel this love and this care from others. Is this something that he may have been, some men are very macho and they're like, I don't need cuddling, I don't need care, I'm strong, and with him being put in this position, he'll be able to feel what it feels like to be loved in that tender, loving care and compassion that these workers will be providing for him. And it's just another way, like Joan said, it's exactly his soul's experience, his soul's growth, and and he'll be humbled, and his heart will be warmed by it. That sounds very beautiful.
Yeah. He was a child with rheumatoid arthritis who played baseball later, but he self diagnosed high blood pressure with pills and had a heart attack and kidney failure. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Here he'd struggled uh, as a child and then kind of overcame and 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 now is having a new challenge. We just wish him and you the very best.
Oh, she said he was arrogant, judgmental personality before uh, resentment. It'll humble him, it'll change him, it'll enable him to actually feel the love that is coming. I feel as though there is a nurse or an angel in disguise that is going to be coming to him and helping him, and it will almost like ease that kind of defensiveness that he may have, or the rejection of I don't need this care. It's somebody who actually has that special touch to help him relax and to accept the compassion that somebody wants to share with him.
Beautiful. We give him our best.
Yes, all the
All
best,
right.
Amari.
Well, this is perfect timing. We can circle back to one of our earlier people that we read for, Jane. May I have a general reading? I am trying to relocate to Los Angeles from Fallbrook, 4 acres and 2 lots. I think those are the lots that we talked about earlier. Okay, let's see what we can come up with in general about this move for Jane.
Oh, I'm seeing you moving there before the sale is complete. So don't put contingency on it. Even if you have to find some temporary place, if you're move in with your family until your place sells, go there and live and share the love with your family even before it sells, even before yeah. So the timing is important. So if you feel it's time to go, or if there's an opportunity that opens up for you to go, like maybe you may need to be with the kids over the summer, so your children can work while your grandchildren are home. Um, but they say don't wait for the sale to go there. It will be pending, so don't wait for it to finalize. You can do things. You can sign things through the internet these days.
Yep.
So,
That's funny that you tuned into that. When we read Jane before, I immediately got the idea that she was going to move and be in a transitional place, like an apartment somewhere, before finding a permanent place in the new city. So that might have something to do with it. And okay, what are they saying? That will help. That will actually help the sale, because it harkens back to what we were talking about before. If you're not there, feeling disappointed every time there's a showing and they don't take it, and it's like, oh, I've got to get out of the house, or I've got to whatever. Just being in the place you want to be, being in your happy place with your happy family, is and making sure that you know and trust your realtor, the professional in charge, and then you know have the angels guide guide the right people to the realtor, and have another set of angels guiding the realtor to just bring them all together, so it'll all just happen, and just know that it will, and that you will actually be doing the best thing you can do to facilitate the sale and the transaction itself by being where you want to be and doing what you want to do. It will take the pressure off of it. Just envisioning, the amount you want, and that it happens swiftly.
you can also ask for a particular guide or an angel to assist you, and you focus on the things that are going to make you happy and go and be with your family and allow them to make sure that they take care of or watch over the actual final sale. Um, they want you to focus on the happiness. They want you to make the move and to do and not to have that contingency. Don't wait, because that'll pull you down, and then the manifestation will not be vibrating. So if you go and you're happy and you're experiencing time with your family, the manifestation will be generated more towards you.
Perfect. And what a lovely question to end on, to focus on the happiness and be in the happy spot. That's good advice for all of us in every situation, and especially over the holidays.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming, and I wish you the best over this next period, and a happy lead up to the holidays. And Jean, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was just a joy as always.
It was lots of fun, Joan. I didn't have a care in the world. I just you were beautiful. It was seamless. I loved it.
Great.
And yeah, so I look forward to doing this. We're going to be doing more of a round robin for the next year coming up and being on each other's channel. So everybody make sure you subscribe to Joan, make sure you give her a thumbs up, make sure you share the video and let everybody know that to subscribe here to Joan so, because we're going to be going around to different people's channels all the time. And if you have any comments or something that you would like to let us know, you can put a comment in below after the live show here, and we'd appreciate that as well. So thank you.
Yeah, and I want to thank all the people who are here and all the lurkers and all the people who will be watching this later, because I'm often the lurker or the
I
one who's
know
watching later, a
it's
lurker or later person.
I have these on and I'm walking around doing things and you can't always be with the chat. You want to, but you can't always.
Yeah.
We're multitaskers. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. It was so nice seeing everybody. And I'm going to be, let me just see, I have Allie, a Heart and Soul Connected, going to be on my channel on Wednesday, the 14th. And I think that's it. I'm not sure about Friday yet. I'll have to update you on Wednesday. But Allie from Heart and Soul Connected is going to come on my channel, and just her and I, and we're going to do readings together. I'm going to pay back some of the favor, and we're going to have so much fun doing readings together. She'll have to try not to look at the chat so much. You know how you're used to driving so much. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope to see a lot of you over there on Wednesday. I'm sorry, let me see what time. I think it's 4:30 Eastern and 1:30 Pacific. So we hope to see you there on Wednesday. Support Allie from Heart and Soul
Wonderful.
Connected.
And I will probably be on with Allie on Thursday for Meet the Mediums. So see you then. Anyhow,
Lots of fun.
thanks, Jean, and thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Bye now.
Bye.